Our guest is an economist and innovation policy specialist working with the World Bank in Washington, D.C. With us now for more is Crisostomo, live from D.C. Well, good to see you, Cha. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, Kathy, and good morning to all the viewers.
All right. So how are you and the Filipino community there in the U.S. taking all of this in, all the Senate and congressional inquiries into the corruption allegations involving infrastructure projects?
Well, it's like we never left home. Social media is keeping us updated with all of the developments. There are 4.4 million Filipinos here in the U.S. Most of them are OFWs sending remittances and taxes to the Philippines. So you can feel the frustration of the community here because we expect that the hard-earned money that we send back home gets spent on projects that are that underwent proper project selection with clear cost-benefit ratios, with transparent contracting awarding processes. But now that is being challenged by this current scandal.
Yeah, as you say, it's like it never left home, but it's even more magnified being an overseas Filipino, as one would imagine. What are they intending to do to make their voice heard, to make your voice heard from where you are and what's going on here?
We're definitely having discussions here amongst ourselves. So the young professionals here in DC, we have a very tight-knit community here. We're constantly collaborating with people from the embassy in order to make our voices heard, particularly in issues that are of national interest, such as this flood control program. So I hope that we can do something a bit more tangible after our collaboration, because everything is pretty new, and we're still in the process of coordinating ourselves in order for us to have something a bit more, a project that we can propose to the embassy in order to demand accountability, particularly for this issue.
Speaking up does help, and just collaborating with everybody who's just as concerned, especially so when it concerns loans. I mean, what impact could these corruption allegations have on sovereigns and on multilateral institutions like the World Bank with existing or planned loans to the Philippines?
Yes. Well, Kathy, I'm speaking independently, but based on my experience, whenever there are high-profile corruption or procurement integrity issues for existing projects, it will trigger tighter fiduciary controls. There would be very close prior review and supervision. And for existing projects, there could be a possible slowing of disbursement. This is important because a lot of these development projects, we want it to be done as possible in order for it to achieve the development outcome it seeks to achieve. So any delays is to the detriment of the country. For proposed projects, this can be a bit detrimental because for proposed projects, this kind of high-profile issue would trigger tighter governance and anti-corruption supervision. So most of the multilaterals would definitely readjust their risk assessment, and that will change decisions on what types of projects will be, what types of lending projects will be implemented in the Philippines.
It really is a clarion call for transparency, traceability, and accessibility, just lending support for the use of the loans. Senator Bam Aquino has filed a bill seeking to block chain technology to overhaul how the Philippines manages and monitors its national budget, thinking that it could eradicate corruption. But what do you make of the use of blockchain against corruption, being an innovation advocate?
I would say that blockchain, it cannot completely eliminate corruption, but it can put in place systems to enhance transparency in public finance projects. Because essentially what you have in a blockchain is a single tamper-evident trail linking disbursements to contracts, invoices, and deliverables. And all of this is accessible to oversight bodies and stakeholders. So in the end, what you have is a real-time traceability system with a lot more simple processes, which can reduce the opportunity to manipulate records or divert funds. That's not something that you can do easily with the current budget processes, because in my experience, budget documents are very difficult and very opaque, and it's scattered all over different government agencies. So it's a challenge just to verify a single receipt, much more specificities in different contracts that the governments are making.
Speaking of challenges, one of the challenges you see is that we're positioned as passive consumers so far. When we talk about the full ecosystem of AI or of even technology, as we're talking about blockchain, how do we then position ourselves favorably in the global market if it's not all too late, Chat?
No problem at all. One major challenge that we have, or what we see, especially in Filipino firms, is they have this, they hesitate to adopt digital technologies because there's lack of competitive pressure. An interesting thing that we found in our work is that the top firms in the Philippines are not that comparable to the top firms in other countries, which suggests that they probably have no incentive to upgrade into better technology such as AI. The second, which is the most important one, is the digital skill gap. The Philippines suffers an important deficit in ICT skills. We have a lot of Filipinos whose basic literacy is very low. And without these basic digital skills, upgrading to more advanced digital technologies is just out of the question. And this sits on top of our lack of investment in human capital. Our educational attainment is very low compared to our other peers in the region. So we definitely need to work more and invest in improving our education and our digital skills in order for us to compete with other countries in the world. And this is especially critical now that the world is being reshaped by artificial intelligence.
Well, speaking of risks, I mean, now that there is a digital divide that exists and the opportunity to actually ramp up on AI, what is a bigger risk now? Is it that we are unable to upskill as quickly, or is it that we stay where we are?
I would say that with the data that we're seeing right now, we don't need to be, we are at a position where we need to take advantage of the productivity enhancing capabilities of AI. What we found is if a firm adopts a particular digital technology and integrates it in its processes, it can improve its day-to-day operations, produce more output, and that can translate to growth. But if without the investments in digital skills, it would be difficult for firms to do this. And we see a lot of groups, even our leading firms, saying that there's a shortage in skills, particularly digital skills. So it will be a problem in the future if we don't address this.
All right, that's a clarion call, then a call to action. Thank you so much for your insights from where you are. Chat Crisostomo of the World Bank in Washington, D.C.